All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day you might be listening or watching this. I've been seeing a lot of weird stuff on social media, which made me decide to go ahead and write this. And by the way, um, my microphone has been popping and snapping lately. I thought I had it fixed. Um, it didn't fix it. So I changed the cabling out yesterday, and I also changed the port out where it plugs into my desktop. So hopefully we'll get through this video without any pops, snaps, and crackles from the microphone. Yeah, I'm a professional sound engineer. Yeah, good gravy. Um, let's see. Okay, let's bring this up so that I can read it to you real quick. Let me make sure I have it up. Yes, I do, and that I am on. Okay, and it says I trust Trump. A MAGA call for calm amid Iran tensions by Sammy the Squirrel. My fellow patriots, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The drums of war are beating once again, this time over Iran. The mainstream media, ever the puppet of the establishment, is doing what it does best, sowing fear, doubt, and division. They want you to believe that President Trump is on the brink of dragging America into another endless conflict. But I'm here to tell you, don't fall for it. We've been here before. We've seen this playbook. And every single time, President Trump has proven that he's not like the warmongers who came before him. He's a man of peace, a master negotiator, and most importantly, a leader who puts America first. So let's take a deep breath, ignore the noise, and remember why we trust him. President Trump's track record, peace through strength. Let's start with the facts. Under President Trump's first term, America didn't enter a single new war. Think about that. For decades, we watched as neocons and globalists dragged us into one quagmire after another. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, billions of dollars wasted, thousands of American lives lost, and for what? Nothing. Chaos, instability, and a weakened America. President Trump broke that cycle. He got us out of bad deals, brought troops home, and most importantly, avoided new conflicts. Remember when the so-called experts said pulling out of Syria would lead to disaster? It didn't. Remember when they claimed leaving Afghanistan would be a catastrophe? Trump laid the groundwork for a peaceful withdrawal that, despite the mess Biden made out of it, was the right call. And let's not forget North Korea. The media screamed that Trump's tough talk would lead to nuclear war. Instead, he became the first sitting president to meet with Kim Jong-un and step inside North Korea. And the tensions cooled. No new wars, just results. Now, compare that to the presidents before him. Bush got us into Iraq based on lies about WMDs. Obama bombed Libya into oblivion, leaving it a terrorist playground. Biden, he's been a disaster from day one, stumbling into conflicts and embarrassing America on the world stage. President Trump, he's the only one who's consistently chosen peace over war. Tariffs and money, Trump's secret weapons. Here's the thing about Trump, he's not a politician. He's a businessman. Businessmen don't solve problems with bombs. They solve them with leverage. For President Trump, that leverage comes from in the form of tariffs and economic pressure. Look at how he handled China. Instead of military posturing, he slapped them with tariffs, forced them to the negotiating table, and made them start paying attention to American interests. It wasn't perfect, but it was effective. China backed down on some key issues, and America's economy roared back to life. I'm not going to go into the COVID-19 thing. The same logic applies to Iran. Trump knows that Iran's regime is desperate. Their economy is in shambles, thanks in large part to his maximum pressure campaign during his first term. He doesn't need to send in troops. He can cripple them financially. And if push comes to shove, he'll use America's economic might to force them into a deal that benefits us. War is expensive. It's bloody. It's unpredictable. President Trump gets that. That's why he prefers to use America's strongest weapon, our economy. Tariffs, sanctions, trade deals. These are the tools of a smart leader. And President Trump is the smartest leader we've had in generations. The mainstream media's propaganda machine, a weapon of mass deception. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the mainstream media. If you're feeling anxious about Iran, it's not because of anything President Trump has done. It's because of what the mainstream media wants you to believe. And here's the dirty secret. They're legally allowed to lie to us now. In 2012, Obama signed the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, which effectively gutted the original Smith-Mundt Act of 1948. That old law was designed to prevent the government from using propaganda on its own citizens. But Obama's modernization opened the floodgates. Now the government can push its narratives through the media and the mainstream media. Ever the loyal lapdog laps it up and feeds it to you on a daily basis. What does that mean? It means that when you turn on CNN, MSNBC, and yes, even Fox, sometimes you're not getting news, you're getting government-approved talking points. You're getting neocon propaganda designed to scare you into supporting another war. Think about it. Every time there's a foreign crisis, the mainstream media ramps up the fear. They trot out the same old experts who got us into Iraq, who cheered for Libya, who pushed for Syria. These are the same people who hate President Trump because he won't play their little game. They want war because war is good for business, their personal coffers, their cronies, and their globalist agenda. But here's the rub. They've lost their grip on the narrative. Thanks to independent media, Substack, and voices online, the truth is getting out, and the truth is simple. President Trump isn't falling for their tricks. He's not going to war unless it's absolutely necessary. And even then, it'll be on his terms, not theirs. MAGA must stay united. Trust the man, not the media. So what does this mean for us, the MAGA faithful? It means we need to stay calm, stay focused, and most importantly, stay united. The media wants to divide us. They want to make you doubt President Trump. They want you to think he's betraying his promises. But let me ask you this. Has President Trump ever let us down when it comes to war? No. He's been consistent from day one. He ran on ending forever wars, and he delivered. He ran on putting America first, and he's doing it again. This Iran situation, it's a test of our resolve, our trust, and our ability to see through the fog of propaganda. President Trump has handled worse. North Korea, Syria, ISIS, and he's come out on top every time. He'll do it again. But he needs us to have his back. The neocons, the deep state, the mainstream media, they're all gunning for him. They want to pressure him into making a mistake. They want to force his hand. But if we, the MAGA base, stay strong and vocal, we can remind President Trump and the world that we didn't elect him to start wars. We elected him to end them. The bottom line, Trump will solve this without war. Here's the truth. President Trump doesn't want war with Iran. He wants a deal. He wants peace, but he's not going to let Iran walk all over us either. He's already shown that he can use America's economic power to bring rogue regimes to their knees. He did it with North Korea. He did it with China. He'll do it again with Iran. And if, God forbid, it comes to blows, you can bet it will be swift, decisive, and over before the mainstream media can even spin their lies. But I don't think it'll come to that. President Trump's too smart. He's got too much to lose, and so does America. So, my fellow MAGA patriots, let's keep the faith. Let's drown out the noise. Let's trust the man who's already proven he can handle the toughest situations without sending our sons and daughters into harm's way. President Trump's 2025 message is peace, prosperity, and make America great again. Stay strong. Don't allow the mainstream media talking points and propagandized headlines and stories to trick you into turning your back on President Trump and MAGA. All right. That's it for this post. Stop sharing. And that's just 11 minutes long. But yeah, like I said, I've seen so much vitriol and accusations online that Trump is, they're trying to break up MAGA. The Democrats do not. The last thing the Democrats want is for Trump to gain a supermajority in Congress during the midterm elections. If Trump has a supermajority in Congress during the midterm elections, that means from then on, every bill he wants passed will be passed and put into law, and he'll sign it, right? Which is very difficult to undo. It's hard to undo a law that's passed by Congress and signed by the president, right? It takes two-thirds of Congress in order to overturn a veto. So if President Trump vetoes a bill, the Senate can overrule it, So if we give him a supermajority, we can make sure we get laws passed that will last generations instead of executive orders that can be easily undone by the very next president of the United States with a stroke of a pen. Just like Biden did on day one of his administration. He rolled back all of President Trump's energy deals that he made, and gas prices immediately started shooting up. So anyways, we're at 13 minutes. We're going to give this a few more minutes. I'm going to talk another minute. I don't like that number 13. So, things been cool here. I think we're actually supposed to get up to 90 degrees today, y'all. Let's see, what is the weather forecast for today? It says, it says it's 65 out there right now. Let's see, hourly. Come on, phone. That's what I hate about being in such a rural area. I get such a weak signal. Like I got one bar. Let's see. It's supposed to get up to 82 or 83 today. 83. That's blistering hot for this area. I'm telling you. But all right. Y'all have a good day. We're up to 14 minutes. Okay. I'm going to end this stream now. I just don't like that number 13. So thank you to all my paid subscribers. You don't have to, but I appreciate it anyways. And y'all have a great and blessed day.